Hi guys, good morning. So ngayong araw na to, dito sa recording na to, ay re-review natin yung mga natutunan natin tungkol sa relations and functions, representations of functions, and other topics na na-discuss natin synchronously and asynchronously. Handa na ba kayo? Kung handa na kayo, so prepare yourself to listen, to take down notes, and review these as many as you want. Okay? So let's start with the definition of relation and function. So when we say relation, it is a set of ordered pairs. No? So let us say, example, the relation R is the set of 1, 0, 2, 1, 3, 2, and 4, 3. So that is an example of relation because it composed of set of ordered pairs. Okay, as you can see that inside the brackets, it composed of 4 ordered pairs. And that is a set of ordered pairs. So we call that relation. And the name of that relation is relation R. Okay, what is a function? When we say a function, it is a set of ordered pairs or it is a relation where each element of the first element corresponds to exactly one element of the second. So let us say that we have ordered pair xy, the first element x, we call that the domain. And or input. The second element y, we call that the range or the output. Okay, so that is uh, how the first element and the second element uh, be distinguished. So correction for the spelling here. So first. Ayan. Okay, so let us try to have an example. So let us say an example. The members of the domain can be called inputs and the members of the range can be called the outputs. Okay? So arrows can be used to describe correspondence in the function. Okay? Kasi there are many ways to represent functions. Okay, let us discuss that first before we give an example. So ano nga yung mga ways of representing a function? So ways of representing a function. Okay, so number one is by mapping diagram. Ayan. Okay. In mapping diagram, we have two sets like set A and set B. Let us say that the set A is our domain or the input and set B is the range or the output. So let us say the set A contains of the elements J, U, N, L, O, R. And the set of the elements in set B, let us say we have -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, how can we present a function here through mapping diagram? So, we will use an arrow. Remember that the definition of a function, it is a relation in which each element of the domain corresponds to one element of the range. So, let us say j corresponds to 0, u corresponds to -1, n corresponds to 1, L corresponds to 4, R corresponds to 2, and O corresponds to 3. So as you can see that this function is, or this set of relation is a function because one element one element in the domain corresponds only exactly one element in the range. So, ibig sabihin, hindi pwedeng ulitin yung domain. Hindi pwedeng mag-repeat yung element sa domain. Okay? How can we be able to convert this to another representation of function? So we can represent a function not only in mapping diagram. So we can also represent that through ordered pairs. So ordered pairs. Ayan, okay. So paano to? Okay, so let us say, so we will use, of course, brackets to list down all the set of ordered pairs to represent a function. Okay, so let us say that this is a relation age, and we name it as relation age. So using the first example in mapping diagram, let us convert that into set of ordered pairs to represent that as a function. So set of j0, o-convert lang natin yung mga elements na nag-corresponds from the first element to the second element into ordered pairs. And then, u -1, and then n1, and then L4, and then O3, and then R2. Ayan. Okay, so this is how we represent a function. Again, one, through mapping diagram. Second, through ordered pairs. We can also represent a function through table of values. Okay, table of values. So sa table um, may dalawa tayong column. So yung first column is the domain, and the second column is the range. Yan. So let us say so this is our table, no? Let us say J so J O or 0, not O, then U, -1, N, 1, L, 4. So let us add more rows. O, 3, and then R, 2. So as you can see that we convert the mapping diagram to ordered pairs to table of values, because these are the different ways of representing a function. These are common representation of a function. Okay. Another ways of representing a function is through graphs. Okay. So let us present that.
It's 6 o'clock.
Okay, so another way, fourth way, is to use graphical or graphs. Ayan, okay. So let us represent another example. So since we are using graphs, no, we can plot our example earlier through graphs. Though the the set A is a set of letters and set B is a set of integers. No, but we cannot be able to use the Cartesian planes because Cartesian planes uses only what? Real numbers. So our previous example, we have set of letters, but we can still graph this. No, so let us graph. Okay, with a very simple uh, graphs. So let us say we have the horizontal line, which is your domain. Okay. And the vertical line, let us say this is our range. So our set A is composed of, in our example, so J, U, N, L, O, R. Ayan. And then our set B is composed of -1, 0, 1, 2, and 3. Let us go back if we miss something. So 4. We add 1 integer, which is 4. Ayan. Okay. So let us plot. So the first is J0. So kung babalikan natin, so J0, then U -1, then N 1, and so on and so forth. So J0 muna tayo. So J0, ito yung J0 natin. Yan. Yan. Okay. Nasaan naman yung U -1? Ito. Okay. Ano yung sumunod? Ang sumunod ay N1. N1. Ang sumunod is O4. At ang sumunod ay O3. I mean R3. Sorry. O R3. Ayan. This is how we represent the example earlier from mapping diagram through ordered pairs, two table of values, and two graphs. Okay, or graph. Okay, so we only use this example. No, if you have set of real numbers in the domain and in range, you can use partition plane. But this is another way to represent the example earlier that I presented to you. Okay, so as you can see from the graphs, no, from the mapping diagram, two ordered pairs, two table of values, two graphs, we can represent a function. Another one or another example is through equation. So number 5 is through equations. Yan. So pwede siyang y is equal to x plus 1, y is equal to 2x squared plus x minus 3. So these are example of a functions through equations. But not all equations is a function. Okay? So, di-discuss din naman natin or re-review naman natin siya, no? Paano natin malalaman kung yung mga equations ay functions o hindi. So, pwede rin through statement. Yan. Yung pang-anim ay through mathematical statement. Ayan. Okay. In words, kumbaga. Ayan. Okay. So that is how we present a functions or a function from mapping diagram to ordered pairs to table of values to graph to equations and to mathematical statements. So let us have an example. So let us determine if a relation is a function or not. Okay. Function or not a function. Okay, let's say example 1. So we have this example, set of 1, 2, 2, 5, 3, 10, then 4, 17. So let us observe first the first element. To determine if it is a function, kailangan hindi umulit yung domain. So let us observe the domain. So the domain or the elements of the domain are 1, 2, 3, and 4. So walang umulit na domain. So therefore, this is a function. Ayan, okay. So another example is this. So let us say input, output, so we have 1, 2, 2, 4, and 3, 6. Ayan, yan yung example. Okay? So, do you think this is a an example of function? If yes, you are correct kasi wala namang umulit diyan sa input, no? Walang umulit dun sa domain. So this is a function. Ayan. Okay? So, what if this one? Example natin. Yan. Number 3. Okay? So, let us say x squared plus y squared minus 4 is equal to 0. Paano yan? No? Equation siya. Pwede ba natin malaman kung function siya o hindi? Yes. Okay? Ano yung unang gagawin natin? So, unang gagawin natin, yung one way is to replace every value of x, no? Kung saan dapat makakita tayo ng ordered pairs kung saan umulit yung values na yon o yung domain. So pag umulit yung domain, therefore this equation is not a function. So kailangan mahanap natin kung meron bang umulit na domain. Okay? So through inspection. So pipili lang tayo ng mga values. So let us say start tayo sa number line. Trial and error tayo. So kung mag-start tayo sa 0, so let us say if x is 0, what is y? So replace natin yung x doon sa equation na 0. So 0 squared plus y squared minus 4 is equal to 0. So 0 squared is 0. Then y squared. Then transpose negative 4 to the other side, magiging positive 4. And then square root both sides of the equation. So magiging square root of y squared is y, and square root of 4 is plus or minus 2. So we have two values of y. So if we're going to represent that through ordered pairs, so if x is 0, or sabihin na lang natin, ano siya, mapping diagram. If ito yung x, ito yung y. So, if x is 0, may lumabas na dalawang value. Isang positive 2, isang negative 2. Kung gagamitin natin yung mapping diagram, yung 0 corresponds to 2 and also 0 corresponds to negative 2. And as you can see, the first element corresponds to two elements in the range. So this is not a function. Okay? Kasi 'di ba yung definition ng function, kailangan yung unang element ay nagko-corresponds lang dun sa isang, exactly one element to the range. Okay, so this is not a function. Okay? So as you can see, pag meron kayong equation, mag-isip lang kayo ng mga values. Pag nakakita kayo ng values na pag sinolve ninyo, may lumabas, ang output ay dalawa yung sagot. So ibig sabihin, dalawa yung magiging or uulit yung domain. So kailangan hindi umulit yung domain. So in this example, through inspection, nagsasubstitute tayo ng mga values, start kayo sa 0 para mas mabilis. Pag hindi nyo nahanap sa 0, then sa negative kayo kumuha, mag-test kayo doon, or sa positive kayo mag-test. Kung wala kayo napapansin na uulit yung domain, so ibig sabihin lang na function yung equation na yun. Okay, another example. Okay, another example. So let us say halimbawa, y is equal to square root of x minus 1. So, kung makikita natin dito, no, mag-i-inspect na naman din tayo. So, paano tayo mag-i-inspect? So, tignan natin sa number line kung ano yung mga values kung saan hindi uulit yung domain. So, let us say 0. Start tayo sa 0. So, if x is 0, the value of y is, solve natin. So, y is equal to square root of 0 minus 1. So, y is equal to square root of negative 1. So, our answer is imaginary number. So, ibig sabihin, hindi pwede yung 0. Okay? So, let us test 1. So, if x is 1, then y is, solve natin, y is equal to square root of 1 minus 1, which is 0. No? Then square root of 0 is 0. Ayan. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, kung siya ay gagawin nating ordered pairs, yung unang nakuha natin is 0, 1, 0. Hindi natin isasama yung una nating na-solve, no? Kasi imaginary. So, let us say 2. Ano kaya yung value ng y? So, let us say x is equal to 2. Then y is, so solve natin, y is equal to square root of 2 minus 1. So, y is equal to 2 minus 1 is 1. Then, square root of that, y is 1. So, 2 is 1. Okay. Kung pipili naman tayo ng 3, yan. So, 3. So, ano naman yung value ng y? So, let us try to solve. So, if x is 3, then y is blank. So, y is equal to square root of 3 minus 1. So, y is equal to square root of 2. So, therefore, if x is 3, y is square root of 2. So, kung iisipin natin, walang value kung saan uulit yung 3 kahit pa mag-substitute kayo ng 4, ng 5, ng 6, ng 7, ng 8, and so on and so forth, or greater than 0 or greater than or equal to 1. So mag-start tayo sa 1, pataas. Kung mag-substitute tayo, walang domain na mauulit dyan. No? Kung mapapansin nyo, sir, bakit nung in-square root mo kanina may plus or minus? Ngayon, wala. Kasi given na yung square root dun sa equation. Doon kanina kasi nag-extract pa tayo. Diyan ay given yung square root or yung radical. So, ang sagot, hindi dapat kayo mag-plus or minus. Okay? Pero kung halimbawa, yung example natin kanina dito, no, kung babalikan natin, nag-plus or minus tayo, ang sagot natin dito, plus or minus 2. Kasi nag-extract tayo. Para nag-extract tayo ng exponent para matanggal yung exponent by squaring both sides of the equation. So when we square both sides of the equation, the result should be one is positive, the other one is negative. Pero kung ganito siya, may radical na siya sa umpisa pa lang or sa given pa lang, hindi na kailangan po natin ilagay yung plus or minus. Kung ano yung value na nakuha natin, yun yung sign. Okay? So, that is an example, no? So, as you can see, you inspect kung may mga values ba na umuulit dito sa domain. Pag wala, ibig sabihin, function siya. Which is, ito rin yung mga tinatanong sa exit card, no? Paano kung equation yung binigay? Paano natin malalaman? Ganyan po kung paano natin malaman. Okay? May another way rin naman din. Okay? Pero tuturo ko sa inyo later. So, another example. Okay, number 5. So, let us say this is ayan. So let us say this is an example of or graph tayo, no? Sample natin graph. Ayan. How do we know if it is a function or not? So, pag graph yung binigay na given, we need to there is a concept that to determine if the graph is a function of if the graph is a function or not, which is a vertical line test. No? Ano yung konsepto ng vertical line test? Okay. Vertical line test. Ano yung konsepto ng vertical line test? Ibig sabihin, a graph represents a function if and only if no vertical line intersects the graph or the graph more than one point. Ito yung konsepto ng vertical line test. Okay? So, anong ibig sabihin niyan? So, kung ito yung, gagamit tayo ng pencil test. So, if it is your pencil, i-ano mo lang yan sa graph. No? Titingnan mo kung yung vertical line na to, itong pencil na to, dapat daw hindi magi-intersect sa more than one point. Okay? Pero in this example, no? So kung dito natin ite-test. Kuha tayo ng imaginary line. Sabihin natin yan yung imaginary line na yan, yun yung pencil test natin. So kung dito natin siya itatapat, nag-pass through sa exactly 1 point. Mukhang function siya. Pero pag lagpas dyan, let us say here, magpa-pass through not only at exactly 1 point. Dito, 2 points. So, ibig sabihin, this graph ay hindi na siya function. This is not a function. Bakit? Kasi nag-intersect sa more than 1 point. Okay? So, dito nakita natin 2 points. Maximum, 2 points. Yung pinaka-minimum na 1 point na nag-intersect yung vertical line sa graph, 1 point. Okay? So, hindi na siya function. So, through vertical line test, malalaman natin kung yung graph is a function or not. So, another example is this one. Okay? So, through vertical line test, no, kailangan makahanap tayo ng more than 1 point lang pag nag-pass through yung vertical line dun sa graph na nakikita natin sa example number 6. Okay? So, pag dito natin tinest, pag dito natin tinest siya, magpa-pass through lang siya sa exactly 1 point. Pero pag dito natin, lumagpas tayo dyan from left to right, kung mapapansin ninyo, nag-pass through na siya sa 2 points. Ayan. So, this is an example of not a function. Ayan. Okay. So, this is it. This is how we determine if the given function or if the given item is a function or not. So, let us say another example. Isa pa. So, let us say set of x, set of y, 1, 2, 3, 4, then 1, 2. Okay. So, burahin ko lang. Medyo hindi maganda. So, let us say x, y, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So, as you can see, so we have mapping diagram. So, if we inspect, no, yung 1, 2, 3 nag-corresponds lang sa isang element sa y. Okay? So, we have 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1. Pero pagdating natin sa element 4, no, pinair yung 4, element 4, doon sa 1 and 2. Kaya kung mapapansin ninyo, pag nilista natin siya sa ordered pairs, yung 4 uulit ng dalawang beses kasi pinair siya sa dalawang elements sa range. So this is not an example of a function. This is not a function. Ayan. Okay? So, dapat through inspection kayo. Okay? Yan yung way natin kung paano malaman kung function or not. Okay? So, that's it for this, for this review of representation of function. Again, kung re-review natin, pabalikan natin, a relation is a set of ordered pairs and a function is a set of relation where each element of the first element corresponds to exactly one element of the second. The first element, we call that domain or input. The second element, we call that range or output. Okay? And of course, no, ways of representing a function are through mapping diagram, ordered pairs, table of values, and then graphs, equations, and mathematical statements or in words. No? So, pinakitan din natin on how we can be able to determine if a given item is a function or not a function. We just follow the rules or the concept of functions. Basta walang umuulit na domain. Okay? Wala tayong pakialam dun sa range. Kahit umulit siya ng ilang beses, basta wag lang yung domain. Okay? So, let us see each other sa next video. Thank you so much for listening, guys. Bye!